But our special guest, resident of Park City, two-time Olympian and star in the movie, please welcome Kaylin Richardson. Hello.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I've just been listening to you guys jabber at each other like two long-lost friends for a little bit. This is totally random. You took an improv class with Michelle in L.A. like 4 years ago?
Yes. The fates have brought us together. Last night when I was doing a little research, geeking out, Googling y'all, I was like, that girl is very attractive, first of all. Radio is really not her medium, but you guys get to listen to her beautiful voice. But if you saw her, she's stunning. But I was looking at this face and I was like, gosh, looks so familiar. And then I saw she was in a commercial that I recognized. But even before that, before she was in commercials and a radio star, she and I took a class, level 2 at IO West. And I was telling her right before when I went to the bathroom before we started this show that I'm so glad she was the best in the class. Because when you see someone that didn't do so well, you're always like, we were in a class together. And
awkward.
You were, yay, like fist bump. But with her, I was like, you killed it. So it's very clear why you have a radio show now.
I would
you.
hate to have taken a skiing class with you, I think.
No, you wouldn't.
Based on that same...
Gentle. I would cradle you in the gentleness of my expertise.
I have never skied in my life, and I'm pretty sure that immediately when I put on the skis, I'll just topple over. Like, that's how bad I think. I don't even think I can balance.
Oh, I see a funny video edit in our future because skiing is kind of one of the... There's a feather in my cap that might be skiing. And since you just moved to Utah and you even said, you're like, it's a little cold. And this is nothing. Like I was like, oh, it's balmy. We'll take you up. Already. We'll take you up to Park City and we'll get you on some skis.
I'm going to get very hurt.
This is a two-time Olympian here.
I'm scared.
I took Mario Lopez skiing on the Bunny Hill. Yes, TV's AC Slater. And you will far exceed him. His producer, before we went to do this little bit, was like, do not let him fall on his face. And I felt like a little bit of pressure, but when he was skiing, he like was talking to Cameron. It was not even, there was no grade. It was pretty much exactly flat, but he was catching up a little bit of speed. And when the cut was done, he didn't know how to stop, so he kind of just kept going. So I kind of got up behind him and grabbed him like a little kid from behind. Is the best way to explain it. That's the only way to explain it. And he started to noodle. Like, you know, sometimes when someone grabs you, like little toddlers will be like, oh, you're holding me. I can just totally go limp. He kind of did that. And I was like, Mario, like stand up. And he didn't really hear me. And I was like, stand up. And then he was like, whoop. And he stood up. So as long as you don't go limp noodle on me, we'll be all good.
Okay, great.
Zach never would have gone limp noodle. Zach looks like a European pro out there. I just
hope he would have had his little like carrier of his brick phone. I hope that he has not gone to like, or maybe he has like a razor. I would want him to stay in character. I'd be like, let's use technology that is at least 10 years old.
She's funny. You're awesome.
Funny lady.
You guys are awesome.
I'm thrilled that this Love Fest is happening. I don't know if we should focus a little bit. You're here because you're in the new Warren Miller flick. You went to Norway, did all sorts of badass stuff, but it just seems like that you do so much outside of skiing and entertainment.
I try to. I think that Michelle can attest. We both were in LA for a little while.
Yes.
And it's tough. There are a lot of people that are really interesting and really incredible. And I feel like if the world's your oyster, why not try everything? So I've tried some broadcasting. I tried stand-up, which is a whole other show where improv is definitely more my kind of thing when you have other people up there to play off of, like the three of us in this
currently,
room.
Yeah. Stand-up, it's just you, and sometimes it feels like you're dying in a hallway.
Exactly. And also, the moment you walk up, all the people in the audience, unless you filled it with friends, which is what I tried to do, but then it's almost worse because you get courtesy laughter, which is the worst.
Right.
But if it's not full of friends, it's all these people that are like, I dare you to make me laugh. And you're like, that's a pretty volatile environment.
You're also a pretty girl, so it happened to me, like when I would do stand-up, the girls would be like, this girl. And then they would give you the dirtiest looks, and then their boyfriends would be like, I'm not gonna laugh at this girl because I don't want my girlfriend to be upset with me. And it was just the worst, most awkward situation ever. And then I had to be like just as goofy as I possibly could so that these girls would be like, oh, I'm not intimidated by her. And then the boys would be like, oh, it's okay for me to laugh? I can laugh? Okay, ha ha ha. She is funny.
Yeah,
okay, great.
That's a little internal. I do have to say from an audience perspective that I am sort of colorblind and gender neutral when it comes to funny. A pretty girl can be just as funny as a totally ugly one.
I will agree with Michelle, though. There is kind of a balance because it is tough. Because, like, you're right. You have that whole added thing where people are like, they're like predisposed, especially in comedy, because you're right. They're just like, especially girls. Girls are tough. I feel like
Yeah.
our gender, we should band together and be like, no, we should support each other. But it's tough. Like, it's not the easiest thing.
No.
Well, I guess this is where the interviewer tries to go. So relate that to skiing.
Oh, I will. So skiing as a female is hard because it's a male-driven sport, which, as much as I was kidding then, it kind of is. Like, I think that I think that Warren Miller's done a great job of trying to bring women into the film more because it definitely is a male-dominated sport, skiing in general. But there are women that rip. And not even present company. I'd say there are girls that I watch and I'm like, I could not do, especially in the park and pipe. Anybody that can do crazy tricks and whatnot and get inverted, if I go upside down while I'm skiing, something's gone terribly awry. Things are not good. So when I see girls that can do that stuff, I have a podcast and I just recently interviewed Devin Logan, who's a silver medalist from slopestyle in Sochi. And just hearing like, she's like, oh, it's no big thing. Like being upside down's awesome. I was like, I'm getting old because I went on a roller coaster recently and went upside down. And I'm like, oh, I don't feel so good. So I definitely props out to the women. And I like Pretty Faces is a movie that just came out. That's a ski movie that's totally populated with only female skiers. So we're talking about Warren Miller, but there's lots of cool ski film footage of lady rippers.
All right, Kaylin, hold on for just 1 second here. Let's play a song super quick and then maybe come back, talk to you some more, give away some passes for the Flick and some ski passes too. FML on all 94.9.